that I kind of got sidetracked from what I was trying to explain. But yes, basically there is an alignment system to the game. There's good, neutral, and evil. Then there's lawful, neutral, and chaotic. And so you can have a neutral good. You can have a good. You can have true neutral, which is neutral neutral. You can have lawful evil, chaotic evil, neutral, neutral good, neutral evil, lawful good. Yeah, fuck it. I'm leaving out too much, but basically you can see there's an x-axis, y-axis. Depending on where you're on the x and y-axis, determines your alignment. And there's various different things in the game that benefits you in different ways. Like I have a bonus, like the Aura of Good gives you a bonus against evil creatures. And then there's presumably, you probably can't access it in this because you're set up as a hero, but in normal D&D, if you're playing an evil character, which is a perfectly, valid choice, you can get gear that gives you bonuses against good characters. Similarly, you could be a good character and wielding anti-good gear, but that'd probably come into alignment issue. And what I was saying before was people can be, lawful good, but they don't have the same perspective on it. And where I was spawning into the awful stupid thing was it was more of a side tangent. Lawful stupid isn't an official alignment. It's a nicknaming for some stupid decisions Paladin players have done in the past. The thing I said there was merely one suggestion as to why that happened. I remember reading it online, but whether or not I sincerely doubt it's accurate to all cases, but whether it's accurate to any is still, question to be asked. I wouldn't be surprised. There's always one, but beyond that, airy-fairy argument there, I don't really have anything to say either way. When I go off on a tangent and lose my train of thought, I just feel very fucking awkward. So that's why I'm just trying to make it sound a bit better there. It'll probably also work if I didn't explain why I was doing it. But anyway, let's continue. But anyway, yeah. Basically, there's the alignment system. Paladins in the older days had to be lawful good. And if they became any other alignment, even while still saying good, they fell. And a variety of things could lead to you falling. Suddenly deciding to massacre, innocent children. Like, killing innocents, well, that's not a good action. You probably not following out your God's edicts. There's also, I remember hearing there's a dilemma that's played in with Paladin falling. It's just not a thought experiment, but it's just a thing people have talked about before. You find an orc baby out in the woods. What do you do? Do you kill it? It is an evil creature after all. But like orcs are classes inherently they have the evil alignment. Or do you save it? It is a baby, and well, apparently, depending on the god the paladin follows, they might not care that they're a baby. But the game master, you remember I was saying some game masters are apparently goits. Yeah, if you go either way, they could decide your paladin is fallen. Apparently. So this is why I like single player games. Just nice non-goitish ones. It's probably also the let me start that again. Probably similar on a similar note. It's probably also part of the reason why I prefer single player games is because I can't find a group to play with. That's what I was trying to say. If only the words could have exited my mouth in a more clean manner. But anyway, hopefully my explanation there is good enough. Like I said, I don't have a great experience with D&D, but I'm just sharing what little I've gleaned from playing, Neverwinter Nights a good few years back. Seeing a few Let's Plays elsewhere of the older D&D games like Frostwind Dale, Baldur's Gate. I'll be doing them at some stage, and then reading stuff online about D&D. I think I mainly saw shit on 1d4chan. So take it with a pinch of salt. So, due to my lack of experience, I can't comment on, whether anything's clear bollocks or not, because I don't have a, frame of reference. So, anyway, let us continue before anything else happens. We'll start here and we'll go through each one. This is a 1 point thing. For some reason, it keeps saying 1 out of 1 on these. It's strange, but you just gain 10 hit points. This gives you 1 point of Constitution and costs 2 action points. This gives you an additional 10 health. You have to get to level 7 for that, and you have to have the previous one in the tree as well. This gives you another point of Constitution. This gives you another 10 health. So if you get all these, you get an extra 30 health, an extra 2 points of Constitution, which boosts your health and helps you with certain stat rolls, or just helps you with certain stat rolls. You can get a Dragon Mark Focus. +1 Dragon Mark used per day, +1 Sturge. And as you can see, as you go up, you get a +1 to both of them. And then you can get the Lesser Dragon Mark of Warding. Then you get Greater Dragon Mark of Warding. Then you get Hands of Stone. This is gives you a. Not actually sure what the hell that is. Spell resistance, meta magic, extend, quicken, enlarge. Spell resistance, no. Lesser Dragon Mark spell resistance. Wards an ally with a spell resistance of 12 +1 per level per caster level. Okay, so we just give you spell resistance. The other details were confusing me. Like I said, I don't have much experience with D&D. Again, this game, and then I didn't fully understand the concepts of it, and Neverwinter Nights, which does break from D&D rules. It was meant to be like a 3.5 system, but for whatever reason, druids can wear like plate armor. I was watching Kokoski's playthrough of it, and he was pointing that out a few times, just laughing at it really, because druids, I don't think they're meant to wear plate. It's kind of weird. Greater Dragon Mark spell, Radiant Force Field. Your target is surrounded in a sphere of magical force that reduces all damage, except for untyped damage, they take for 25% for a short period of time. This gives you Greater Dragon Mark spell, Earth Grab. Target corporeal creature is grabbed by earthen hands and rendered helpless. Reflex DC 10 plus level plus Constitution modifier plus transmutation bonuses negates. Alright. Then there's here Iron Stomach. When you drink, you gain neutralize poison effect for 2 minutes. When you drink, you gain neutralize disease. Then you gain neutralize poison, disease, and heroism. Well, that's fucking handy. Basically, keep alcohol on you. Or then again, they just say drink. Maybe you keep water on you, and it works the same way. Stout. +1 to balance and saves against poison, and it's +1 per each group. For those who didn't play early WoW, this is kind of like what you would have in the WoW skill trees. I say kinda because the WoW skill trees now is it's 5 tiers, and you get an ability or passive on each one, and they try and be interesting. But in the old WoW ones, you would get +1% to damage or what have you. If you want a different, and the one side point, you would have it coming down the way rather than up. And as a side point, you also wouldn't have these direct points. I don't think. I think there wouldn't be a direct. You get this, then you get this, then you get this kind of thing in WoW. If you want to see another example of it, the Dead Island skill tree, from what I remember of it, is kind of similar to what the WoW's one. Obviously, it doesn't get quite as long, but it gives you a rough idea. If you don't want to, bother to go look up the WoW, the old WoW town lists, town trees. Where was I? Okay, so this gives you bonuses to hit and damage with a chosen set of weapons. Dwarven weapon training, and it seems to keep going up to here. Put your dwarven mask behind your weapon of choice. Cool. There's this dwarven nipples there. Stout dwarven nipples. +1 armor class and armor maximum dexterity bonus. Wearing like heavy armor, like plate, reduces the amount of armor class, the armor class bonus you can get from your dexterity. So that each rank of this increases that maximum dexterity bonus from heavy armor by 1. So yes. Shield mastery. For a moment I read it as slave mastery and was getting puzzled. +5% shield armor class, +1 tower shield maximum dexterity bonus. And that goes up for 5% each rank. You gain 2% health and 1 to fortitude saves, and that goes up 1% per rank and 1 point for the saves. Dwarven Tactics grants a +1 bonus on the DC of your combat feats. I can't remember what DC stands for. Dice count? That sounds too nice. I can't remember what DC means. Let's look it up. I probably would recognize the phrase since see it, but I can't remember. D and D DC. Yeah, it is DC. No, it's not Washington DC. Okay, here's the D&D wiki. We'll move on to this one. Here it is. Okay. Basically, the DC is the number you have to roll against. So I guess if you're trying to do something and you got a DC of 10, you have to roll and match or beat 10. And I guess if you beat it, depending on how high you go, looks if you got 20, will probably determine how well you've beaten it. So I guess you getting +1 on the DC of your combat feats presumably doesn't mean the DC goes up, it maybe means it goes down. Because this is slightly different, but I remember with armor class, your AC in the older D&D, like you would see this in like Frostwind Dale, I think, your DC would start at 10 and would go down with higher dexterity and better armor. Your armor class would go down, which makes it sound like it gets worse, but in actuality it's getting better. You're meant to go into the minuses, and if you're in the minuses and going down like that, that's a positive thing. That's an improvement. So, that's probably just a similar logic. +1 to saves against spell effects. Here's this. There's Child of the Mountain, which is the health and fortitude thing. Then here is Stand Like Stone, which is 3 ranks. For 12 seconds you gain 10 bounds, physical resistance rating, and stacking energy resistance, but a 50% penalty to movement speed, sink in water, and cannot fly. And rank 2 has that increased to 15 seconds, get 20 bounds, physical resistance, and stacking energy resistance. And then Stand Like Stone 3 gives you 20 seconds with 30 to them, but only a 50% penalty to movement speed. Oh, Dwarf Fortress. I would love to do a Let's Play of Dwarf Fortress, but the game is just too impenetrable for me. It's too much of a block. The only way I'll do it is if I had friends around and we were all equally pissed trying to play it. Only then would I try and actually record it. Okay, let's see. Well, there's one thing I want to joke, but I feel awkward making that joke. works better in context. I've made it in another video, but like I was saying, it works better in context. While wearing full plate and using a shield, you gain +1 armor class, intimidate, and will saving throws versus fear. You gain +3 melee and range power. The fear thing is irrelevant. Paladins cannot be feared. They're just flat out immune. Because religious zealot. Well, Knight of the Chalice. Well, Lady Lake ain't gonna be happy with us. Wrong fiction. I was nodding to the Witcher there. You meet Lady Lake in the first game. And if you say your words right, you get to shag her. Slayer of Evil, +1 to attack evil creatures and deal 1d4 additional light damage that scales 100% with melee power. I'm contorting my face in pleasure. It's like it looks of a face of disgust, but that sounds fantastic. Well, maybe on the small scale, but since I am starting off, probably the crummier thing does look, just sounds awesome to me. Even if it isn't that great, it sounds cool. Or maybe it is fantastic. It just sounds cool with me. You resist evil influences particularly well, gaining +2 to saves against spells and effects produced by evil creatures. Courage of Heaven. Your Aura of Courage gains an additional +2 sacred bonus to saves against fear, and now grants a +2 sacred bonus to saves against enchantment. You gain +1 to hit for all attacks. Your Slayer of Evil now deals 1d8 light damage that scales 100% with melee power. Slayer of Evil 2. Your Slayer of Evil now grants +2 to attack all evil creatures and deals 1d6 light damage that scales 100% with melee power. You now resist evil influences particularly well, gaining a +2 bonus to saves against spells and effects produced by evil creatures. Your weapons gain the Ghost Touch effect. Oh, also, just to gush about my cat for a moment. When I was up here, how should I phrase this? Sorry, my English is failing. Sometimes this happens, and it's very annoying. I'm a little frazzled most of the time. But when I was up here, recording this, Mum had left the sitting room, and when she came back in, my cat Nero had been over at the tree. Like I think I said earlier, I helped set one up. And when he saw Mom, he ran over to her, beaming. He was apparently really, really, really happy for the tree to be there. He loves when I bring in a bit of timber. He's like all over the bag. He's sitting in it, making friends with the stray wood lice in it. But here he's just ecstatic for the tree, and it's so cute. Sadly, he's an incredibly black cat. His coat is just so dark, you can't actually take a good picture of him. Out of context, that sounds horrendous. Like, say if someone just didn't hear the word cat. Ugh. But, he's just got such a dark coat. Sadly, you just can't take a good picture of him. Because it just comes out like a giant sensor bar. Like he does. So, yeah. But he's a precious cat. I love the little sod. I have, you can look it up yourself if you want to see an image, but I have a Candy Cause doll. Candy Cause is a bat by the singer Voltaire. He came up with a little story about a bat that steals candy from bad kids on Halloween night and gives it to the good kids come Christmas. And I had the bat over on my bed, and was cuddled up there before, and he's like reaching his big paw out to him, putting his nails in, and just like staring at him like he's in love and purring. It's so precious. And I would love to leave him there with the bat, but it's I don't want him pulling stitches in it. I think he's already damaged it from the little time he got to spend with it. So while it is precious and adorable, I can't leave him damage it. I've been thinking about getting him, well, less thinking, more planning. Like, I'm gonna do it when I get a chance, like when I see it, of getting him his own little bat, because I think he would love that. Like, I had another doll on the bed,